Okay, so possibly you're stuck on this part here, and hopefully you got up until this section where you have made the basics part of it, and you've left the complex feature for the end. This is just, a good problem-solving strategy if you, for not just engineering, drawing, and graphics, but any problems really. If you have a complex problem, break it down into simpler parts and do the simple parts that you know, and then try to build the complex parts after you have understanding of the simple foundation of the problem. So here's the basically simple foundation. Let me not show all the details, but just briefly show how you would add in that Y junction here. Okay, so the Y junction we're going to do with an extrusion. But when we make the extrusion, we need a plane that is at an angle here so that I can extrude down in this direction. Okay, so here's how we can make that plane. Okay, let's create a sketch on this plane here. Let's reorient it. Okay, now this plane that I'm sketching on goes right through the middle of the part. I can click on this icon here, which is the Slice Graphics button, and then it cuts the part to where I'm only looking at, I'm looking directly at the plane I want to sketch on. Okay, so now let's add in one horizontal construction line here. Okay. Now I'm going to add in another construction line, which is going to be the center of the angled piece. Okay, and now I can add some dimensions. Let's add this 60-degree dimension here, distance from here to this edge 0.5. okay, now the height of it. Okay, if you notice in the drawing, the distance from here to here is 1.5, but if you have a problem, if I click on this line and try to dimension, well, it gives me a vertical distance or a horizontal distance. I can't do a angled distance basically. Well, that's okay because we have this angle of 60 degrees. So what would this distance be? Well, that should be just 1.5 times the cosine of 60. Cosine of 60 is a half. So just 1.5 divided by 2. There we go. Alright, so now here is the line that's going to guide my extrusion basically. Let's finish that sketch. Now I want a plane that's perpendicular to this line that starts at that point there. So again, go back to work plane, and the second to last one here, normal to axis through a point. Let's say normal to this axis through that point, and now I've created this plane. Okay, from that it's easy enough. Let's create a sketch on that plane, and then I can go create one circle with a diameter of 1. Let's finish that sketch. I can extrude, but not that way. I want to go the other way, but I don't want to go a certain distance. You see, the distance will probably go inside. Okay, so what I want to do, remember, is go to, and only go to this surface here, and it merges it. That extrusion just goes to this curved surface. There we go. Okay, then I can add my whole second. So now let's go create a sketch on this surface here. I'm being careful now. I don't want to select this plane. I guess you could. I can just select this surface, create a sketch on there, and then we'll create another circle that has a dimension 1.75. 0.75. Now let's extrude that. This time is a cut. Now where do I want to go to? I don't want to do a distance. Let's go to this inside surface here, and you see it only cuts up till that top, but it doesn't cut through the bottom. There we go. You can add in your fillets, of course, if you need to as well. whatever distance that is. There's your fillet. That was too big, but anyway, you can adjust your fillet there, adjust your billet size. All right. So, okay, hope that was helpful.